Thank you, everyone. Thanks for spending Valentine's Day here with us today. I'm going to stand up so I can see everybody. I'm going to address a legend that's here. Yes, I only own one colorful shirt. So we'll just toss it out there and get it out of the way. But yes, it's true. I do only own one colorful shirt. So I didn't know that was going to be up there. Otherwise, I would have tried to find something else. So anyway, so I just wanted to share that. But I want to thank you again for taking time today. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. I'm going to have some later because otherwise I'd be talking faster than I usually do. But I understand it's a strawberry latte. Yeah, very nice. So I can't wait, Corbin, to have one later on. I'm going to talk a little bit about, most of you know the organization. There might be a handful of folks here that are not familiar with the work that we do, but we are a nonprofit organization that's multi-layered, and we're a food bank, but that really doesn't explain the work that we do. Food banks, the word food bank now is a kind of a descriptor for organizations that serve multi-purposes in their community. So we're looking at it from a national level. What's the best way to describe the work that we do? Because back in the day, food banks were government cheese, some bread, and other things that were handed out, and they've morphed into an extensive community service provider. And that's what Treasure Coast Food Bank is. Obviously, we feed people in the line today that need food assistance, but we're also looking at programs that can enable people to improve their living conditions, but also improve their learning and education and nutrition conditions. So food banking has changed tremendously over the last few years. For us here at the Treasure Coast Food Bank, our focus for the last 15 years has been on healthy food, nutritious food, and providing people with that and how they could prepare healthy food and bring that into their daily diet, because there is a connector between health and hunger. And our goal here has always been to provide people with as much nutritious food as possible, along with the staples that they need every day in their diet. So nutrition, education, and then wellness is our focus. As we're moving through the next few years, we're undergoing transformation. And one of the biggest transformations we have, let me get that picture of me out of here, okay, there we go, is our new project that I'll talk a little bit more about later on. But here you can see our service area. We serve Indian River, Okeechobee, Martin, and St. Lucie counties. And that's part of our agreement with Feeding America, which we are a partner organization with. We work every day in these counties, but we also work throughout the state. And we do that when there's a call for action to support our sister food banks, but also support ESF functions in the state during a disaster. Oops. So traditional food banking, for people that might not be familiar with it, we secure food, we prepare food in different ways. It could be truly prepared food that we do in our food production kitchen, but we also provide non-food items, which is an essential part of people's food budgets. So if you're struggling to put food on your table, you're also struggling to provide cleaning supplies and hygiene items and all the things that you need when you go to a grocery store or to one of the box retailers that you purchase there. We receive all of that product and we purchase it, and then we distribute that out to our neighbors that are in need of assistance. So we'll deliver that in multiple different ways. We do that through our agency partners, and there's some partner agencies that are here today. So we thank them for their work and working alongside us. We do that with our direct service programs, and we do that directly with clients through different venues, through our case management work and through our benefits outreach. And the biggest thing that we do is try and raise awareness, and that's where everybody can become involved, is raising awareness about the struggles and the needs in our community to help people that are a little bit off from where they were maybe a few years ago. Cost of living increases, the disaster that we recently felt here on the Treasure Coast has really had a significant impact on people's food budgets and what they're able to do. We've been here for 36 years. Some days we all feel like we've been here for 36 years. I've been here since 2009, and for me, every day is like a new day. It's like this, working in food banking is like an onion. We try and compare everything that we do to food, so working in food banking is like an onion. We peel away the layers each day, and there's always something new and exciting to tackle and accomplish underneath each layer. But we started in 1988. A group of local community members saw a need for food assistance, and it really started at the grassroots effort. And over time, it's grown into where we are today. So most of you might be familiar with this, as 1 in 4 people are struggling with food insecurity here in our community. So if you look around the room and you take into consideration our service area, which is the 4 counties, 1 in 4 people here are struggling to put food on their tables. So it's something that people are aware of, but the reality is, it is a reality for our community. And people are living paycheck to paycheck. And with the cost of living and the increasing costs around housing and insurance and all the unknowns that are happening today, it is a struggle for folks to just get by. Whoops. Oh. Was that Siri? Yes. She is. I know. I have the same problem with mine. Some of the things that we've done, 2017, we built out one of our facilities into a food processing and production kitchen. We process fresh produce, we do prepared meals, and we support all other nonprofit organizations, plus our own programs, with prepared meals that are delivered directly to our neighbors, or they're distributed out through our agency partners. We have a very robust culinary training program that in 2018 was recognized by the state of Florida as a certified education program. So when our students graduate from that program, they're graduating with credits. They receive 9 credit hours at IRSC, but they also receive a true culinary certification, the same as if they attended the Culinary Institute of America or Johnson & Wales. It's just a Treasure Coast Food Bank certificate that they get. And that program's provided at no cost. We've been doing that program since 2012, but like I said, in 2018, it was a recognized certified program. In 2020, during COVID, overnight, the tremendous impact on our staff and facilities and the supply chain really drove the board. We have a board member here today. I failed to point that out. Mark, can you raise your hand? Mark has been on our board for about 5 years and is a retired county administrator here from St. Lucie County. But the board had conversation about the impact and the costs of where we were at in providing emergency food assistance. If it had been a really long-term disaster, we wouldn't have had the capacity to continue on. It just was very storage capacity. We leased this building that we're in right now, but just the supply chain shortages that we were facing, we weren't able to backstock and back supply the food that we needed. So we did have enough food to supply the community for 3 months, but we were really worried that if this ran longer, what would we do? So it drove conversation to really look at our bandwidth, how we were operating, what we were operating out of, and then what the challenges were, and kind of sped up a timeline of us moving into a capital campaign to move into a new facility. So one of the things I mentioned was some of our direct service programs, and along with our partner agencies, one of the things that we do is try and meet people where they're at, and we do that through many different programs, and it's mobile pantries, it's our Market Fresh program, it's our pop-up markets, it's our order ahead program similar to Publix Instacart, where people can place an online order. So whatever way that we could do to bring food directly to people and meet them where their need is, that's what we try and do. Accessing food is difficult. It's hard to tell people that you don't have enough money to put food on your table. So we try and make that as easy as possible for folks to, in an environment that's comfortable and inviting, be able to come and get the food that they need. These are some pictures of our Market Fresh on the Move, our pop-up pantries, and some students that have graduated from some of our programs. You'll see that there's some pictures there of non-food items, and those are also shared out through our partner agencies and our direct service programs. So I touched lightly on the plan to increase our capacity, but also to align with efficiency within the organization. We're spread out through 3 warehouses right now, and it does, we're working and it works, but it does create additional costs, additional manpower costs, because people are handling things multiple times. So that's part of the conversation that we had after COVID. What's the long-term solution here to bring everything into one facility? We have our barista program over here. We have our culinary training program over at 25th Street. Our CDL program is in the back of the building at Angle Road. Sometimes they do training over here. So we're, it's constant communication. Who's got an open room? We have a training room back here that we use for all different kinds of things. So it's, they do a great job, I have to say, of communicating and getting the job done. But we could serve so many more people in those areas if we were able to do so in a more streamlined and efficient manner. So in 2022, we had expanded our programs to include CDL, which we have been doing since 2010 because we couldn't hire drivers with a Class B license. There weren't any here. So we would hire warehouse associates and train them up. And then the great thing that would come out of that, but it was also an issue for us, was they would leave to get better paying jobs, which is what we wanted them to do, but then it was a continual flow. So we were able to receive some funding from the federal government back in 2022 to help expand our CDL program and formalize it. And that's what we did. And so we have a certified program now that we do to help folks with achieving that. We have a waiting list for drivers. Our drivers come out fully trained because they get hands-on training. It's an 8-week program. 8-week program? Yes, sorry. It's an 8-week program, and they are working, so they get their basics, but over-the-road training, they're really getting over-the-road training with a loaded trailer, so they understand the differences of how that feels, rather than going through a week-long program that's very, very costly at a local for-profit, CDL training program. So I'm happy to say that our students graduate with a job and they remain in those positions. One of the circle of life stories that recently occurred, we were over at our job site with our building, and one of our students came to deliver in a tractor trailer some of the product that we were going to be using for the building. And he was so excited that he was working on our future from what he learned, the opportunity that we gave him. You're experiencing right now the barista program, and Corbin is our child nutrition coordinator by day and barista trainer on her other off days. So she does a great job. With that, it's a week-long certification program, And that's an opportunity for students, young adults and high school students to get a little step up if they're looking to get a part-time job, or they get the interview skills and the experience so they understand that. So if they're going to interview with Starbucks, who we have a relationship with, they'll interview our students. It's up to them to get the job, but it gives them a little bit of a leg up. And then the same thing with our hospitality program. That kind of goes hand in hand with the culinary program, but there is opportunity for servers in different restaurants to get that skill set of how to approach a table, what to say, how to act, and that is a certified program as well. In 2024, it's hard to believe it's been a year, we broke ground on our new warehouse and distribution center. It's about a mile from here, off of Orange Avenue and Jenkins Road, and it's 130,000 square feet, and we're all going to be together. Yay! So it'll be wonderful. I just saw one of the nutrition ed team. I haven't seen her since Christmas, and we're working every day, but I just haven't been over here in weeks. It's just hard to connect with everybody. So you do lose some of the team loses some of those culture connections that you have, and just getting to know each other and that bonding that happens in a work environment that's really tight like us. So it'll be great to have everybody together and experiencing togetherness and working rather than during a disaster, everybody coming together, every day, having coffee, maybe, I don't know, but it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have a break room too, so that'll be fun, yeah. So here's a rendering of what the building will look like. It kind of looks like that now. If you drive by, it's completely up, but the inside, they're working on the inside. So we're hoping to be in there in June or July. There's some pictures from the groundbreaking. It's hard to believe that a year ago it looked like that. Well, it had more grass, but this is just some video of what the build has been over the last year. So in this new building, first of all, it's going to be an opportunity for the team to come together, but it's also going to be an opportunity for the community to come together. We have training space available for our agency partners. We have training space available for our community partners as well. We'll be able to host large events there for people that might want to do, if there's a business and they want to do some training opportunities, we'll have the space to do that. That goes along hand in hand with the catering program, so that they'll be able to get that hands-on experience through the culinary division of what it's like to work in a real-world environment. We'll have the ability to do all of our CDL training on the property, not trying to find a place to back trucks up when where we need room. We'll have our barista program running more frequently than we have now. I think we're once every other month right now. So we'll be able to do that more frequently. So it offers a lot of education and strengthening opportunities. We'll be able to expand our nutrition education program. They're out in the field every day. We have educators in all 4 counties that are working with different organizations and with our neighbors on food and what healthy food is, recipes, hands-on cooking, and we'll be able to also do that there. We have a culinary training area that people can come into and be able to participate in programs that'll be learning programs. I always say I want to learn how to make macarons, so maybe Chef Brian will have a class about that, I don't know, but maybe. That's not healthy, but it's good, so. That's why I only have one pink shirt, because I can't fit into anything else. But, the hope is to open it up to everybody, not just folks that might be struggling with food insecurity or other poverty issues, but for people that want to learn and learn more about how to nourish their bodies in a healthy way. We have registered dietitians on staff. We have case managers on staff. Yeah, see, she's acting up. Yeah, I know. She wants to come to the party. Make her a coffee.
Yeah.
But it'll be an opportunity for the community to engage with you. This is your food bank. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the board. It belongs to all of you. So it'll really allow us to invite you all in a better way. When we do things like this, we won't be sitting in a warehouse. We'll be sitting in an air-conditioned place or air-cooled, so that our hair won't frizz and we won't be sweating, and we can we can drink 2 coffees because we might need to. It might be cooler. So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to really serve the community in a different way, in a better way, and create the efficiencies internally that we need to do, in the long term to be here as needed. Some pictures. I'll just go through these really quick, and then if anybody has any questions.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Since you mentioned lovely program and motivation, for the community, where can they go and find those programs, like availability, how to register,
Mm-hmm.
all that, for them to be able to engage with you
Sure.
as the programs go?
So the question was, where can community members come to engage with the food bank? So our website is stophunger.org, and you can visit the website, and there's all different fields that you can connect to if you want to volunteer, if you need services, if you want to learn more about us. Everything is there, and you can reach us through there. There's an information email address there, info@tcfoodbank. You can always send a question through there. It's monitored 24 hours a day, so our response time is fairly quick. So you can always, if you can't find what you need on the website, you can always email a question. Anything that you might not be able to find or answer a question, because sometimes email is hard to express what you're wanting, you can always pick up the phone and call. And you'll get routed through to somebody. It might not be the right person in the beginning, but they'll make sure that somebody gets back to you.
Is capital campaign completed?
No, this is kind of the beginning of our launch, and I'll let Jessica talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, great question. So this is a $30 million campaign. We broke ground last February, and we were in our silent phase of the campaign. It didn't feel silent. We said it was like a very loud secret. But the silent phase simply means that you're securing some of your lead gifts before you start going into the public round. So we are hoping for a very rapid, quick public phase. So we're about at our halfway mark right now, and this is sort of the very beginning. You're going to probably start to hear about this campaign a lot more. We'll be issuing a press release next week, and that really starts the public phase of the campaign.
Yes. So we work through our partners and along with our case managers. They're the people that know the communities the best. So they have the relationships with the local leaders. And when I say leaders, I don't mean elected officials, the people in the community that are perceived as leaders. And that's how we engage with our local homeless population. We have somebody here from Salvation Army, and they're kind of boots on the ground, no pun intended, but they're, we need our partners. Treasure Coast Food Bank can't do it alone. We need all of you. We need our partner agencies. We need our volunteers to come and help and work and sort through all the stuff that you see here has to be handled and sorted. So last year we had 46,000 volunteer hours. And 10,000, 11,000. I keep saying 6,000. I don't know why. Back in 2020 or something, but 11,000 volunteers that came through, and we can't do it alone. Having 11,000 hands that are working in the organization throughout the year, the manpower that creates is incredible. So it's everybody that has an interest in becoming involved in some way is critical to the need of this community and other nonprofits too. It's not just Treasure Coast Food Bank. All nonprofits need volunteers. So if you have a passion for something, you know, there's an organization out there for you, and we can help you find that too. Yes. Yes, yeah, we provide food, we provide training, food safety training, we, you know, whatever they need, and they have their own, there's a handful of soup kitchens that we work with in all 4 counties, and we give them food, nutrition education if they want it, other resources for the neighbors that they're serving, non-food items, we'll ship out to them. So whatever it is that they need, we're there. We have program coordinators in that area as well that work with all of our agencies to make sure that they're handling things, because the goal is obviously not to get anybody sick, you know, to make sure that they're following food safety rules and things like that. Any other questions? See what else is on here. Oh. So with our new building, we're looking at a 20% increase in our partner agencies because we're kind of capped out now. We can only do so much with the space that we have. We deliver food directly to our partner agencies, and we also encourage our partners to come and pick up food. But we still are limited in our ability because space limitations are the reason. So with the new building, we'll be able to increase our partners. We currently have 300 partner agencies. We'll be able to increase food distribution by 76%. I mentioned earlier that backstocking, and I don't like to use the word stockpiling, but having a back stock of food in our food pantry will be able to increase for us. So we'll be able to bulk buy better than we're doing right now because we'll have the room to store staple items and things. We buy by the tractor trailer load of food, and sometimes, you know, I'll use peanut butter. For us, it might be 75 cents that we can buy, and we can only buy 1 trailer load because we can't fit anymore. So we'll be able to, based on our turnaround or a churn of that inventory, be able to backstock enough for a whole year when there's good buys and things, and we'll be able to save money that way. We'll be able to increase volunteers. Right now, in the summertime, you really can't volunteer in the warehouses. We have some volunteers here that could probably attest to how hot it is, even in the wintertime. But the warehouse can get up to 100 degrees in the summer, and it's extremely hot. So for safety reasons, only staff are allowed, you know, after 11 o'clock in the morning because it's just unbearable. And some days we just can't have any volunteers at all because of the heat. So with this new temperature controlled, I keep saying air conditioned, but it's temperature controlled. It'll be at about 76 to 78 degrees, so it'll be more comfortable for everybody, and they'll be able to volunteer, and we'll be able to have our shifts in the afternoon, the mornings, and evenings because of the ability to have that air cooling. And then expanding our job training programs because we don't have to figure out logistically where we have space. We'll be able to schedule out our cohorts appropriately and how many students we can have in each cohort a year out, and then be able to get those scheduled in on a regular basis. So we'll be able to support more folks learning more skill sets. And then I mentioned earlier about this being your food bank. It's about collaboration and working together to build a healthy community. We all need to have a hand in that. And that's it. That's all I have. Thank you. Thank you. Jessica, I don't know if you want to share anything.
Just open up again to see if there's some additional questions. Yeah, go ahead.
You might have said that, but when are you expecting the new facility?
July.
July-ish.
Yeah.
It's construction, so, you know, but it's coming up very fast.
Yeah.
It is coming up very fast. So the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
How would you divide your, work, maybe your distribution or your, job training between the 4 counties?
So that's a good question. The question was, how do we divide our job training between 4 counties? I'll answer it, and the other part of it was our work. So our core work, our mission work of feeding people is done we have wheels in every county. We might be housed here in St. Lucie County, but we represent every county through our partner agencies and through our direct service program. So we're in every county every single day. With our training programs, depending on what it is, it would depend on where it would happen. Some of our hospitality training happens in Martin County. Some of it happens here. CDL program is only here in St. Lucie County. Culinary program is only here in St. Lucie County. We tried to expand to other counties, but it wasn't manageable. But what we do offer is support for folks that are potential students that want to go through the program. If they're struggling, obviously, to make ends meet, they might not have gas to drive from Okeechobee here or from Martin County here. So we help them. That's where our case managers come into play. They learn life skills. They get life skills training as well through those programs. But our case managers assess them and see what ancillary supporting services they need. If they need childcare and things like that, and we'll connect them with those programs. We have some stipends that we use to help support them so that they can not have to worry about that. They can concentrate on their training program and be a successful student. Yes.
Do the young people or any age people who want to be trained, do they come directly to you? Do they go to vocational rehab? Do they go to the career source? Do they come directly?
Yes, all of those places. We get referrals from everybody. We get referrals from Career Source. We get referrals from our agency partners. We get referrals from our case managers. So we get referrals from the website because people tool around on the website and fill out an information request. So it comes from all over. And then they go through an interview process to make sure that it's something that they want to do. Training somebody for a CDL position is very costly for us, just like training somebody for a culinary position costs the food bank about $6,000. And that is at no cost for the student. So we want to make sure that it's something that they are passionate about and want to do. And, right, yep.
I have a question.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. How do you qualify for the CDL program, right? By the way, you did a great job of explaining OTR, CDL, like you are truly instructor, so you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
But how is there an assessment, or how do one get involved?
Well, they fill out an application online, and then our HR manager contacts the potential students, and then they go through an interview process.
Great. I have a follow-up.
Yes.
What is the projected launch date for the new facility? And then lastly, in terms of your reach, you talk about efficiency and sustainability. The pandemic really put a lid on and eliminated a lot of stuff. How are you preparing for that?
Thanks, Gary. Yes, so all good questions. So the launch of the facility should be in the summertime. We're saying July. We'll have a grand opening and a ribbon cutting probably in the fall. That we have to move into the building, get used to it. Everybody needs to, get their flow on, and plus get used to being together because we're all going to be in one building. So we're going to take a couple of months to do that. During that time, we have a pause on our training programs because we can't move and get adjusted to new facility and try and get people successful. So all the training programs will be on pause at that time. And I forgot the rest.
No, you did a great job with that. And then in terms of the reach, and sustainability, how COVID just kind of blew
Right.
a lot of stuff. Like, how are you preparing for that?
So that's a good question. So obviously we rely on donations from the community. We rely on grant opportunities. We do a lot of contract work that helps pay the bills. There's some flux right now in Washington that we're watching very closely. Last week I was up in Tallahassee speaking with our legislative leaders. Because of our contracts, things were put on pause. There's some contracts that are still running and paying, but there's some that we're waiting for reimbursements for, so we don't know when that's going to happen. So, you know, those are valid questions. One of the positive things is moving into one building will save a tremendous amount of money for us. We ran a cost analysis. We'll probably, it's not going to be as much as I would like it to be, but it's not going to cost us more than what we're paying right now. So as far as food supplies, we're ordering and pre-ordering for the future and putting orders on hold so that we have it, we're in the queue, but we're asking for deliveries later on because we have to make sure that we're going to get reimbursed if it's a reimbursable delivery. And so these every day it's like a juggle right now until we can figure out exactly what programs are going to be eliminated at the federal level and how is that going to trickle down to us and affect us. Yes.
You integrate with the Indian River State College for your vocational programs.
Yes, so Indian River State College provides the 9 credit hours for our culinary students. So not the other things, no. No, they have a CDL program as well, and theirs is run a little bit differently than ours. So ours is 8 weeks. I think theirs is 2 weeks, or I think it's shorter. I'm not sure exactly what the time frame is, but ours is a little bit different. So that and when they graduate from their program, they're not getting credit hours at college. So they don't offer that for us.
Is there information on the website to become a volunteer?
Yes, yeah, that's on there. It'll say, about us and volunteer, and then you can go on there and register online. And there's a whole host of things that you can register for. Yes.
Once your new facility is up and running, what will happen to these other buildings?
So this is a leased building. So fortunately, with the timing of everything, we leased this in 2020. And we had a 5-year lease, and it expires in September. So we'll be out just in time. Yay. So the timing for that. Our Engle Road building we're probably going to sell that because we own that property. So we're looking at selling that. And then our production kitchen, which is on 25th Street up in the northern part of Fort Pierce, we have that building and some land, and we'll be selling that as well. But we're going to wait until we move out before. Right now the markets, if during 2020 we probably could have got $20 million for our buildings, but we had no place to go. So now we have to just wait and see. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, I have a few questions.
Yes.
In regards to how you engage with the community. Do you all have a farming or sector of farmers that you engage with on a regular basis within the area? That's 1. 2, in terms of your SNAP Ed, does it come in different languages? Because I realize you have a multitude of immigrants here.
Mm-hmm.
How are you relaying that information to them? And lastly, I know your website has a multitude of information and the ways to engage. But if possible, because I have been trying to reach out, if I can get the direct contact for the SNAP Ed, I would love to know
Sure.
what that is and engage more with that
Yep.
individual.
Yep. So for SNAP Ed and most of our programs, we offer it in Spanish and in Creole. I don't know, we have a translation service on our website for folks if they're, right, Daniel? Yes, we have IT here, so I'm throwing them under the bus. We have a translation service on our website so that you can switch over to another language. If somebody that we're engaging with doesn't speak Spanish or Creole is not their native language, we use a translation service through a phone translation. And then also Siri's acting up, but there is Google Translate for in the field if there's an issue with needing immediate translation and we can't schedule a translator the national program. With regard for agriculture, we work with local farmers here in our area, but we also engage with farmers across the state with a Farmers Feeding Florida program that our food banks, sister food banks in the state created about 15 years ago. So all of the farmers that are growing in the state, we work with them to purchase their produce that might not be it's pretty produce or ugly produce. We'll purchase that. We pay a value-added price for it so they can pick it, where before it might have been turned under or thrown into landfills. So we'll take that product and we distribute that out. We'll prepare it if we need to in production kitchen, but we engage locally. And when we say locally, we use USDA local numbers, which is 400 miles. So 400 miles pretty much covers the whole entire state. So that for us is local produce. Yes?
You mentioned the contracts that you currently have that assist you with funding. So what kind of contracts do you have?
So we do prepared meals for organizations like Council on Aging and Alzheimer Community Care. So our production kitchen does unitized meals that are delivered. We do frozen meals as well. We have contracts to provide food through senior programs, through CSFP. That's shelf-stable product that's delivered once a month. So we have caseloads in Indian River County and in another county, Osceola County. We work in that county for that program. We have our TFAP contract, which is for the 4 counties. We receive food resources and also some administrative reimbursement for that. We have our local food promotion program, which is for our local growers, and we have a contract to purchase produce from them, and then we receive some admin money as well. So the administrative money is what we look for because that helps pay salary, helps pay the lights, put gas in the truck, and this way donor dollars go directly into the programs. So the contracts that we currently have, besides TFAP and I think it's just TFAP, those are the ones that are the uncertainty is. We're waiting to hear what the final, flush of everything is going to be.
I do have another.
Mm-hmm.
Because from my standpoint, we try to access all the community, not just like homeless population.
Mm-hmm.
We try to connect, inmates, release
Mm-hmm.
to jobs and trainings and all that. Is there any eligibility criteria for you guys to accept this type of?
No, so we used to have one of our case managers every Friday worked in the jail system for inmates that were getting ready to be released, and something changed in the state and they weren't allowed to do that anymore. So they have internal, I guess through inmates, do it themselves now. So we work with the released inmates. Our benefits outreach specialists do that. We're a second chance provider, so depending on what the offense was, and how critical it is how we assess whether somebody is eligible to go through a program, to become an employee here. So there's a whole background of information that we look at before we make a decision, and that's where our HR manager comes into play to make sure that whatever the violations are that we're not accepting those folks are able to make it through. Yes?
I work with moms and babies in the community. How do they access the diapers and other baby items that they need?
So that's a good question. We are part of the National Diaper Bank Network. So we receive diapers and we purchase diapers throughout the year by the truckload through Kimberly-Clark. We have diaper pantry organizations that we provide diapers to, and we also, through our programs, provide diapers to community members that need it. If you have a individual that is in need of diapers, our Order Ahead program has a place where you can put, whatever size diapers you need. Sometimes we don't have every size, it just depends on what's in stock and what isn't, but we're constantly updating. So that would be a way for that individual to get diapers if they're not able to access them through one of the other outlets. Well, does anybody want another coffee?
Yeah.
No? Cookies?
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, especially on Valentine's Day, to come here and hear a little bit about your food bank, and hopefully I'll see everybody in different ways and have an opportunity to engage with you as a volunteer or a potential program if you're involved in another organization. So I want to thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.